These are the things I learned when I first started gardening. I am about to start on my potatoes. My potatoes need more soil. I started these potatoes probably like 4 months ago. I folded this right here so I can add more soil. This is the compost soil I've been using since the beginning. This soil never did me wrong. I always use this soil. This soil is called compost manure. Something that tomatoes need because it's an in-ground vegetable. And I'm just topping it off here planting tomatoes, so I'm slowly learning on tomatoes. Well, not tomatoes, potatoes. I'm learning about the potatoes as I go along. And I noticed one thing. I did my research. I noticed potatoes need potassium because the potassium.
What is potassium?
Potassium is a source of nutrition what plants need for root development. And when I plant like this and I plant, what I do is I go ahead and top it off with banana water. The banana water is good for fertilize. I go ahead on and I water with the.
How many bananas you add for the water?
For right now, I only add 1 banana peel and I let it soak for a few days. Only when I'm ready to fertilize. And
Okay.
it's rich with potassium, all nutrients inside of that, of the banana water. Banana water is also good for root development and
So you just leave the bananas in there?
yeah, you leave the bananas in there and it will slowly break down, and once it breaks down, it will give all the nutrition your plant needs once it breaks down. And I will be doing the same thing to my next one. Put the soil in, make it a little bit higher. And if you have little leaves like this, you see how that is? If you have leaves like that, it's okay to cover it up because it will grow back out just like these.
How long do it take to grow?
It take a few weeks when the flowers start sprouting, because you're taking your potato, and once you take your potato and you put it down in the ground, you're gonna start seeing results within a few weeks.
When should you start planting?
When I start planting,
Yeah, like planting the seeds.
when you first put your potato inside of the ground, you're gonna see the potatoes sprouting. I will put a picture up. You're gonna see when the potato starts sprouting. Once it starts sprouting and looking like a hard root, that's when you start putting it inside of the ground. All right. Hit it with some more potassium. Like that. That's fertilized. That's homemade fertilized. And right here is my tomatoes. I wanted to take those tomatoes out because it's too many inside of this raised bed. It's too many tomatoes. So what I'm going to do is I am going to separate the tomatoes and put them in its own pot. So that way the tomatoes can have its own home, and it'll grow full and healthy. Because if you leave tomatoes inside of one bag, inside of one grow bag all at once, they all will fight for the nutrition. You don't want your plants to fight for nutrition. You want one plant to be in one pot, so it won't have to fight for the nutrition. Because if they fight for nutrition, that means all your plants is not getting what it needs. You see how the plants is fading another color? That means it's not getting the nutrition it needs. So I'm gonna take that out and put them in another plant. You can pause it. You don't want your tomatoes to have competition with one another. So you take and repot them in another place. This one is looking sad. You don't want your plants to look sad. That means it's not getting the nutrition it needs. So I'm going to take this one and put it over here. And it's okay to transplant your tomatoes, because tomatoes don't mind. They don't mind. They will love. They don't mind their roots to be disturbed. If you transplanting them in some rich soil, some good soil, before you know it, you're gonna see it happen. The results. I took all those tomatoes out of the one big pot, and I separated them. Them poor little seedlings was really fighting like it was the Last Supper. They was fighting for nutrition, potassium, everything it needed. So I separated them and put them inside of smaller, bigger pots. And now we're gonna watch them work, watch them grow, because they were sad. Just like this one, they all was sad because, just like I said, they wasn't getting all the nutrition it need, because they was all in one big pot. So now what I've learned when I did my research, they should have a better life. And they don't have to fight for competition. They don't have to fight for the nutrition they need. So there you have it. My tomatoes is gonna have a better life, better root development, and better fruit. Nice fruit to grow. This one here, I know this pot eventually I'm gonna have to up pot and put them in another pot, but right now I just have this pot for right now. And once I see them getting the stem getting a little bigger, I will definitely transplant them and put them in another pot. But right now I'm gonna keep an eye on them, and they should do well. See, that's his new home. And I'm gonna take some, this is another fertilizer I use, which is rice water. I take the rice water. This is a homemade fertilizer. Rice water have potassium, nutrition, all it needs for the plant.
So you just put the whole thing in there, or
just some? We just put some in there. And that's for one. I don't work too well with gloves, y'all, as y'all can see. So go ahead and take some more. Fill that up. This is not a big pot for tomatoes. I'm just putting it over here for now. And so it won't have to it won't have to fight for nutrition with the other plants. I'm just putting it over here for now in its own space. And once it starts getting bigger, I will move it and put it inside the raised bed where it has more room. But for right now, I'm just moving it so my leaves can look better than what it is. Look at those roots. I said probably about, from what I know, when I transplant them, it should, the leaves should start changing within weeks. That's how I know it should be working. I'm gonna put some of that banana water in it, full of nutrition. And I'm gonna do the rest of that off camera. But that's the two I got so far. Oh guys, I almost forgot. I did my watermelon patch and I see some germination. Come over here, follow me, camera. I'm gonna show y'all what I see. That's a seed right there. It's germinating right there. And I see another one back there. This is my watermelon patch. I also see one back there. It's coming out. And I see a few back there. So that's a total of 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see 6 seedlings coming out. So what I'm doing is working, guys. Yay, I'm so excited. So, okay. The next thing I've learned is about ants. I know everybody have ants in their garden. All right, I'm about to show y'all right now. Right here.
You know, ladybugs can help with the plants and stuff.
Yeah, we love ladybugs. Is good. Rhodopodies is good.
You should buy some ladybugs to help with it.
Some ladybug. We already see ladybugs. We see ladybugs out here all the time. You see that? That's ants. That's actually red ants. And it has so when you see that inside of your garden, I use dish soap and I pour it on top. And y'all, don't be afraid of the dish soap damaging your plants, because it won't. I've been doing this since I've started and it works. When I come out, when I put it down and I come back out the next day, them ants gonna be gone. So I know for a fact this works. You just take a little drop of dish soap and a little water, bottled water, drop it in there, mix it up, and put it right on that ant pile, and it'll go away. That's another thing I learned. And yo, I started doing my own compost. I started trying to make my own soil, because when I looked in here, this is my slow release fertilizer right here. You see this container? When I look down in here, I put my kitchen scraps. I put like bananas, all the nutrition they need. I'm gonna show you my kitchen strap. Let me show you what I do. That's my slow release fertilizer. This is old stuff that I use. I put it in the refrigerator.
How long do you keep those in the refrigerator?
I keep it in the refrigerator. It's not that long. I just make sure I have enough. Let me move this out the way. I make sure I have enough, so when I come out here, I have enough. So put it everywhere where it needs to be. It's literally a lot of stuff. And I put it down in here. And it will slow release all the nutrition my plants need. That works for me. Because look, as you can see, I got my corn growing. I got my cabbage growing. I got my peas growing. The peas coming out right there and the peas coming out right here. So it's working. So what I'm trying to get at is when it break down, look down in there, Leah. You see, guess what you see? Guess what that is? What that look like? Soil. When the food break down, it's soil. So that gave me some knowledge. I'm like, wait, kitchen scraps turn into soil? That's crazy, because I buy soil all the time. And soil is very expensive. So what I did was, follow me, Campbell. I take all my kitchen scraps. I put it down in the bucket, just like this. And look.
And it turns into soil.
I got my own soil. Look how rich that is. That's full of nutrition. I take grass cuttings, old leaves.
Money.
Yes, I'm saving money, exactly. All that. But what I did realize, come follow me. We're gonna come back to that. What I did realize, eggshells. They said eggshells will help a lot with that. You see these eggshells? It's full of calcium. But what I did notice about eggshells, and when I did my research, eggshells was the only thing, look, that didn't break down. But when I did my research, they said eggshells, if you put eggshells in here, it's not gonna break down. It's gonna take years and years for this to break down. So the research I did was, they said put eggshells inside like a ninja blender, and you make it out of a powder. When you make it out of a powder, that's when your soil gonna get all the nutrition it needs. But if you put it in here like that, it's not gonna benefit you. Right, it's not gonna benefit your soil. So yes, that's another tip I've learned. Eggshells is rich in calcium. It's rich in calcium. So you take your eggshells, and you blend it up. I'm gonna do another video on eggshells. I'm gonna get a ninja machine, because calcium, you really need calcium for your plants. That's another thing I've learned. And cabbage. I've been growing cabbage a while too. This bin, I'm gonna clean this bin out, and I'm gonna use this whole bin for my corn. But I've noticed, zoom in. They said if you let your cabbage flower, it will give you seeds. These are seeds right here. You can replant that and have all the cabbage you want. I don't even have to go out and buy any more cabbage seeds, because I let that seed, and now I got seeds. Let me get me a bag. You take you a little bag, and you collect all your seeds out of there. See that? That's seeds. You let them dry out some more. They're gonna get hard, and you got your own seeds. I've learned about those blueberries. Blueberries have little seeds in them. If you take the whole blueberry, mush it up, you'll see the seeds. All you do is put it inside that soil. I guarantee you, you're gonna see some seedlings. You're gonna get germination. Yep. Flowers. When you start seeing flowers on things, That's when you know the flowers is where you're gonna get your fruit. This is jalapeno peppers, hot peppers. That's where you're gonna get your fruit.
Oh, you've been having some caterpillars.
Yeah, caterpillars is good. Caterpillars turn into butterflies.
Yeah.
Butterflies pollinate too, just like bees. See, this is a flower. This is a melon. If a butterfly come right here and it put pollen on his nose or his wings, and it come over here to sniff over here, that's pollination. It will pollinate another flower and it'll open up, and that'll be a fruit. This is my cucumbers. Cucumbers come out as flowers too, just like this one. This is a melon. So we need bees, we need butterflies, we need everything fly around here because pollination. We need everything for pollination. Oh, my marigolds. This is the first time I'm growing marigolds, and I've noticed it's dying right here. Yesterday, water on there. I put it on there and it sprouted, but for some reason it's still dropping. I don't know why it's dropping.
How do you know when it's dying?
It's dying. You could tell when it's dying when it's sad. Zoom in on there. You see how these flowers right here is up? This one right here is sad.
It just looks down.
Yeah, it's down. But I put that rice water on it. Tomorrow morning when I come back, it's gonna look happy again. Because you know why? It's not getting enough. It's not getting the nutrition it needs, because I have this one taking up all the nutrition because that one's healthy. This one is in the middle, and it's probably not getting enough sun because this one is blocking the sun from that one. You see it? It's blocking the sun, so it needs. I'm gonna hit it with that rice water, and hopefully it'll get some sun and it'll pop back up and it'll be happy again. When you see your plants sad, plants either could be sad or happy. You'll notice when your plants is sad, that means it need to be fertilized, or it just need TLC, tender love and care. That's what I've noticed. Or it's a slow fertilize. I put the kitchen strap in there. I put it all in there and let it decompose. This you know, guys, this is what works for me. I don't know what you guys do for as fertilizer, but I've noticed stuff is getting expensive. Stuff is getting high, and before you know it, we're not going to be able to afford that stuff because of inflation. So I've learned to save money. The plants will talk to you. I put that top on there, and that's my fertilizer. It's fertilizing slowly. Look, I got another this how I can tell it's working. That's a volunteer right there. That's called a volunteer. When you see something like that and I didn't plant it, it's a volunteer. That looked like a cucumber. That's a volunteer cucumber. That's a volunteer, and this is a volunteer. This is
it's just more bigger.
Yeah, this is another cabbage. I didn't even have to plant this cabbage. This is a volunteer. It came up from the soil. That's the morning glory. That's them flowers is coming out. You see that bloom right there? That's gonna come out soon.
So what about the banana tree?
Oh yeah, the banana tree. Girl, I'm gonna feed my brick. This banana tree, back up some so they can see it. Watch that ant pile. There's another ant pile. This banana tree dies off and it always come back. And it have really sweet bananas come off.
It comes back healthier.
It comes back healthier because January, the beginning of this year, back there, we had a lot of snow and it died off. And now it's coming back strong and healthy. We're gonna have some bananas, and guess what?
A few years ago, they had like a lot of bananas.
Yes, it comes in cluster. I will put a picture up on how they look, and they're nice and sweet. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.